I've worked around so many Mexicans. I mean, going back to the '80s. I don't know what ticks them off. There's gang banging Mexicans, which are a whole different group, or Latinos, and then there's hardworking, landscape, restaurant, minimum wage, whatever. I can't think of anything that I had to tiptoe around with it with the Mexican.
What did you say?
I haven't known of anything that they are sensitive about, or you got to watch it. Oh, he's Mexican. You can't say that. Can't say that. I was trying to think real hard, and the only thing I could think of was like maybe
What are you
immigration.
doing? You driving?
Oh,
You
yeah,
drive for a living?
yeah. I do a lot of driving. I've been driving for years.
Well, let me ask you this: how much you make on average driving for Uber, DoorDash, whatever? I
100,
just
150 a day, something like that. Because there's no hours because you're a contractor.
right. You do
So
whatever you
you
want, right?
can make a couple hundred, 1 to 200 a day. Put it that way.
Did
Do
you
it.
see that stream I did where that migrant was making $1,100 a week riding a bike? No gas.
I
Well, he got a
remember
little.
showing that. Yeah, the bikes are way better. I'm in Arkansas, so this is not a bike town.
What did you
But
think about that, man? Like
it was
that's four
crazy.
thousand a month.
It's
Crazy money, right?
crazy. I remember seeing you talk about that. It's crazy, man. I mean,
You know
it's
he he's breaking the law when he was doing that, right?
of course, of
And what did you
course,
think about that part?
it's ridiculous, man. I mean, it's a hustle. It's a scam. It's kind of a it's basically another immigrant scam.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them. And that's just one of many. And it's easy to get into. They barely check you. You don't have need a lot of paperwork other than like insurance, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on with exactly what you do, because the passenger is a little bit different. You have to have insurance with that. With the food, it's not as it's a little kind of a gray area with the when you're doing deliveries and stuff. But when you're doing passengers, it's a little bit more strict. This must have been in Florida. Do the same thing with the Uber passengers.
Mm-hmm.
It's I say 50%, 60%, at least 60% are Spanish speaking in Florida. I was in Tampa. That
Mm-hmm.
you can get an Uber. So a lot of people get surprised when I used to show up, meet me at a black dude, and they say,
Yeah,
"Oh, you a black guy? You speak English?"
yeah, yeah.
You know, they
I
shocked
very
as
rarely see a
black.
black dude show up, man. I very
Yeah,
rarely see a black guy show up driving my car.
I was tripping off of it, like, yeah. And I had to take a Uber a couple times in Florida, and every time, the few times I did take it, they were Latinos.
Do
You
you
know,
take offense to black jobs?
doesn't bother me at all. I mean, black folks have jobs. I mean, there's no job that's labeled as a black job, but if a black man or black person has a job, it's
What
a
if
black
there
job.
were black jobs? Do you think that would be a good or bad thing?
In 2024, not it wouldn't be too good in 2024. Now, back in the day, like in the 20s, 30s, and Jim Crow and all that, they had porters and they had.
When you think of Hispanics, what jobs do you think they had? When you say, "Damn, that's a Hispanic job," Hispanic dominate that.
Hmm, well, I mean, that's the thing. Certain ethnicities tend to dominate. Certain immigrant ethnicities tend
Yeah.
to dominate certain industries.
Like, what do the Hispanics dominate?
Well, landscaping is a big one. First thing that comes to mind.
Do you think the
Uh,
Hispanics would take offense if someone said those are Hispanic jobs?
yeah,
You think they
landscaping.
would take a? Do you think the Hispanics would take offense if you called a Hispanic landscaping job a Hispanic job?
The ones that I know, I have never seen any to be tripping off of that. They just they taking care of business. I haven't seen that.
They
They
probably be saying, "Here, they probably like, here, yeah, this ours. We got this construction, roofing, right?"
I haven't seen any Hispanics tripping over. I'm trying to think, what do Hispanics get mad about? Like the gangbanger types, they may trip a little bit, but just
Yeah,
regular hardworking.
yeah,
I'm trying to think.
no,
I've known tons of them through the years.
yeah,
I've worked with tons of them. I don't
yeah,
know what you can't. Oh, I guess maybe immigration, or maybe like what you call that. ICE and all of that.
oh
That
yeah.
might be a sore spot. But anything else, the jobs and all of that, I'm trying to. I don't. I've worked around so many Mexicans. I mean, going back to the '80s. I don't know what ticks them off. There's gang banging Mexicans, which are a whole different group, or Latinos, and then there's hardworking, landscape, restaurant, minimum wage, whatever. I can't think of anything that I had to tiptoe around with it with the Mexican, other than maybe immigration. And even with immigration, you know, they really don't too much care unless you're going to be a problem for them.
Hmm.
But I don't know of any. Me personally, anecdotally,
Yeah.
I haven't heard them tripping over something you say to them unless you talk about their mama or something.
Yeah.
Something outrageous.
Portia,
I can't think of it.
Portia Blacks, I'm sorry to take over Cashflow Hustle, but both of you guys in Texas, you probably deal with more Hispanics than any of us.
Oh,
Does your experience mirror what Cashflow Hustle here is saying? 'Cause I haven't really had much interaction. No, you said they just you can say it better. Cashflow. What did you say?
I haven't known of anything that they are sensitive about, or you got to watch it. Oh, he's Mexican. You can't say that. Can't say that. I was trying to think real hard, and the only thing I could think of was like maybe immigration, and they're not really sensitive about that, but it's a slight sensitive. I'm going back to the 80s now, 80s, 90s, way before the Trump and all this mess, way before that. Mexican here, Mexican, all these different Mexicans or Latinos. Other than maybe immigration, and that's not really that bad. I can't think of any topic or subject unless they're gangbangers. Now, gangbangers, and they're not really sensitive about that, but it's a slight sensitive. I'm going back to the 80s now, 80s, 90s, way before the Trump and all this mess, way before that. Mexican here, Mexican, all these different Mexicans or Latinos. Other than maybe immigration, and that's not really that bad. I can't think of any topic or subject unless they're gangbangers. Now, gangbangers, what about you? Is there anything that they're sensitive about? I said maybe, possibly immigration.
No,
Money, money.
I haven't. Money, yeah, but I haven't heard any Mexican come up to me and be upset because I called some other Mexicans who were notably illegal aliens. They're not like, oh, how dare you?
Did you see the interview with Chicago Hustler Master?
Hey Ross, you heard my wife speak? Yeah.
That was the guy. What was his deal? He was what was his
Uber
deal?
driver in Chicago.
Oh yeah, the dude that shot. No, he went to jail or something. Somebody know he got robbed, right?
Yeah, he got robbed. Yeah.
Right. I had a long career with this cab stuff, man. I used to drive a yellow cab and all of that. I've done, like I said, I've done a lot of driving for like 11, 12 years and all that. So before Uber came out, when they blew up, regular old school yellow cabs, checker cabs and all of that. So
not knowing who you're gonna pick up. You know who you're gonna pick up back in those days, huh?
Oh man, it was the whole cab game. It's a whole.
At what era did you drive yellow cabs?
That was like early 2000s when I first got to Arkansas. It was early 2000s, probably 01, 02, and I was back and forth, and I kind of went full time around 06.
Okay. My mother used to drive.
Oh yeah, I got robbed one time. I forgot about that. Yeah, I was robbed at gunpoint, and in the cab. I'll never forget that. It was back in 1999. Oh yeah, part of the job. This is dangerous. It is very dangerous. So I was robbed at gunpoint, back in which I never forget, back in 2000. And come to find the guy with the gun was dead in my face, and give me your money and all that. And only had like about 80, 90, close to $100 in my pocket. Gave him the money. Come to find out, when they caught the guy a few days later, he was a 14-year-old kid that had, I picked him up as a passenger, and he turned around and put the gun in my face. Went to court. Testified against the dude or whatever. They said they traced his phone. He was real young, and he had, of course, the sad criminal story that his grandmother, and you know how to say, John, there's.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But
the dude had a gun in my face. So I'm supposed to feel sad, I guess, but forget. I mean, come on, I know.
And so, what did you do when he robbed you? Just gave the money to him?
Yeah, I wasn't fighting no gun in my face. No.
Yeah, I'm giving him the money too.
Let me ask you this question: how did you feel about being robbed as a grown man by a 14-year-old boy?
Oh man, it was bad, man. It was shocking, really, because he didn't look 14. I figured he was like 18, 19, 20, just by looking at him without knowing paperwork and stuff.
Did they catch him?
Yeah. I had to go to court. I had to go to trial. I had to go to court.
So when they asked you for leniency, and they said, "Hey, can you drop the charges? He's only 14." What did you do?
No. You know what he was what was supposed to have happened. He was supposed to serve his time, and I was supposed to get restitution.
Of course, you're not going to get restitution.
Of course,
Ever.
zero. From a 14-year-old living with his grandparents, I'm supposed to get restitution after he
Yeah,
served
right.
his time or whatever.
My restitution.
I'm assuming he went to juvie. I don't know what happened after that. I'm assuming at 14. I'm assuming he went to, even though it was armed. You know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they will. This was
No, this is in Arkansas.
when they did ask you for lenience. What did you say to them?
I said, no, Your Honor. I stood right in front of the judge with all this going on. Like, no, Your Honor. Go full presses. I sat into the interrogation room with the cops and stuff. When they caught him, because he was a very dumb criminal. Of course, we know there's a lot of dumb criminals out here. He used his own private phone that they traced, you know, and it was my fault when I picked him up because it was a private residence, but he didn't come out of the door of the residence. He came out of the side.